Thank you, David. However, alongside distinguished guests, honorees, and supporters of drawer, just heard from Councilman Greenfield how important drawer is. Each and every one of us has a deep and abiding responsibility for one another. And that's based on the principle that Kol Yisrael A'amad B'Tzelem. And it's easy for many of us to have that responsibility when it's close to home, when it's neighbors. We have to do those things, and it's important. But imagine how hard it is when somebody has to take the time to drive to some correction facility and spend the time going through the facility itself, getting checked in, checked out, and with nothing but the mitzvah of caring for their fellow person who needs their help. That's why drawer is so incredible. Now my job tonight is to be brief and to move the program along. So it gives me great pleasure to introduce the spiritual advisor and one of the founders of drawer, Rabbi Ephraim Stein.
Adressieren will es scheuen umarmen in Reden wegen die viele Gäste, wo sind alle mit sich du verteidigt. And dear friends, we welcome tonight a very distinguished gathering, combination of dignitaries, judges, lawyers, commissioners, people of authority, community leaders, and members in the community. As one of the leaders and founders of Geroy, I wish to thank the Almighty for the opportunity that He has given us to be able to seek intervention for all of those people who are in dire need in one of the areas that are most difficult to provide that assistance. It is difficult to understand. It is more difficult to impart and to explain. The people that are incarcerated are human. The people that are incarcerated have feelings. And above all, people that are incarcerated have families. As our dear chairman has mentioned before, to go into detail would take too much time, and we don't have that time. We just would wish to express our gratitude to those people that are assembled here, that have given of themselves, that have given so much support, all kinds of support, moral support, spiritual support, physical support, and providing understanding to the people in authority for the needs of those that we represent and that we wish to help here. I don't want to take up much time, but I do need to express our gratitude, the gratefulness that we feel, first and foremost to our honorees. The Honorable Brian Fisher, the Commissioner of Corrections, New York State. has extended himself. I don't want to say too much, but he has extended himself way beyond the call of duty. He has been available on a 24-hour basis to the needs, specific needs, of members of the community, of people that have found themselves surrounded suddenly, without forewarning, and are paying a heavy price. Both those that are inside, and more so those that are outside. Commissioner Fisher has become a legend in the community. When he is approached, we've been to see him a number of times, recently, in the past number of years since he's there. It almost never fails. When we're on the way home, when we're returning from Albany, we receive a call from the families. The matter that we went for has already been resolved. He's already done what we asked him to do, what was necessary to be done. Our request the attention to those needs are something that we could have not had prior to this. There are difficult areas when it comes to placement, when it comes to where people are. The commissioner had a handle on all of it, and when the need came up, he did. I would like to also recognize his very competent and able associate and successor, and God willing, the future permanent commissioner, nothing is permanent, but the future commissioner and the current commissioner of the State Corrections Department, Honorable Mr. Enucci. Who not only follows in the footsteps of his forebear, but also has been behind the scenes one of the greatest vehicles that we have had to move matters in the right direction. I would like to recognize a law firm. Primarily, the honoree is a woman of valor who has distinguished herself and endeared herself to the members of our community, not only by her legal prowess, not only by her talents as a superb and wonderful lawyer and attorney, not only by her human warm feelings, both as a human and as a Jew, to a fellow Jew, but being with us for the number of years that we've worked together and that we have had cases together that she has handled. She has a special, we call that siyata d'shmaya. She has help from above in the cases that she has handled for us. And the results always were not only satisfactory, but were extraordinary. An associate and partner with Mr. Fred Apitz, who together have historically devoted a lot of their time and effort to representing people within the community, helping us cope with the legal system, which, as we all know, is not necessarily exceptionally fair to anybody, particularly in our case when the jury system, the justice system is not necessarily favorably inclined towards people that look different than they. I'd like to also recognize an attorneys group that has been very helpful to us. We have, in New York, not have had that much experience with them, but in New Jersey, our affiliate, the Rohr organization in New Jersey, headed by Rabbi Moskowitz, has had very good relationships and a lot of assistance in the legal struggles that we go through over there. Mr. Baldessari, from the firm of Baldessari and Lara. Who have been very instrumental in providing assistance, guidelines for behavior, when unfortunately, today's day and age, unless we are exactly the way the government wants us to be, we can encounter much difficulty. They are very helpful in developing guidelines for us, assistance to us, and extended themselves to our community graciously. There are many other dignitaries and people that I really should mention. I would like to digress for a moment, however, and mention, first and foremost, a person who may be offended, may be upset if I mention him, but sometimes the need necessitates even doing something that someone would not appreciate so much. A gentleman that has adopted Dror, a gentleman that has opened doors for Dror that were never opened for us, a gentleman who has put away his business, a profitable, good business, running business, when it came to business of Dror, when it came to accessing where we needed to access, and did not have the doors open on our own. He was always available, and not only available, but he would prompt us. He would call us. He would send us emails. What are we doing? When are we going? How are we going? Mr. A. Eisner. Who is really a tzaddik nistan. He is a hidden tzaddik, righteous person, who for no compensation, for no reason, physical, material, or otherwise, would want to do what he is doing for us. He does not get any promotion for it. His business does not require it, and in fact, he tries to hide it. His activities on our behalf have helped untold numerous amount of people, many of whom are at their families here with us right now, who have had success in being released, in being transferred, in being designated to places that they wish to be, and that alleviated somewhat the misery that they were in. It's no secret that in today's day and age, when someone finds himself behind the locked doors of a penitentiary, when someone suddenly is confronted by an issue that may even be unreal or not really what the officials say it is, and he suddenly finds himself sentenced to lifetimes behind bars, he suddenly finds himself without anyone to speak to and nowhere to go to, where the legal profession has already completed whatever they were able to do and cannot continue in what they have done because they've exhausted all avenues. When those people that tried to help don't have where to turn to, we in Dror have found vehicles. We in Dror have found mechanisms. If we cannot succeed in bringing people home, if we cannot succeed in releasing those that are not guilty, and only by the virtue of the fact of the way they look or the way they behave, are in situations that they don't need to be or should not ever be. If we cannot do anything for them, the least that we can do in Dror, with the help of some very valiant, dedicated servants of the community that don't seek any recognition for what they do, we are able to take families, we are able to take children, family breakups, children that go astray because there is no parent to go for them, to help them with everything that they need. We have been able to, with a small supply of dedicated volunteers, to be able to bring some kind of relief, whether it's making weekends, whether it's making various other functions for their families and with their families. That has been made available to us. That has given us been given us that opportunity by many of the benefactors, many of whom are here with us, and many, many more that are not here with us today. I need to recognize a couple of co-workers, volunteers, or really those people that I admire most. They do so much more of the work than I do, and they give me all the recognition that I don't deserve. Mr. Yidel Lichtenstein. Day or night, when someone finds himself in a situation in the state system, the federal system, or elsewhere, where he is locked up and in central booking to wherever it is, he'd go down there immediately. He'd provide bail for those people immediately. He would help them talk to the clerks and the judges. I would also like to recognize those people that on a daily basis work with us and that do all the work for us. We have Avram Israel, and his associate, Khan Hershfreund. Yehusha Labin, married to my granddaughter. And with us, and on top of the organization, and literally the person that worries for the organization 24 hours a day, is Yoel Mendelowitz. And then many other volunteers that go out in the field and don't come back until late at night, until they have concluded whatever they needed to conclude. I can only offer all those assembled here today blessings, prayers, hopes. We hope and pray that the reasons for our being here today will be diminished by the day, that the reasons will no longer be necessary, that we will only have to get together and in memory of the difficult times that we have encountered, that we have gone through. I would like to offer prayers and blessings for all the people that have extended themselves and have helped us so much in our quest to help and alleviate the sorrow and the needs of those that are finding themselves where they are currently. I will not take any more time. The time is short. There's a lot more to be said and done. I will now just again offer wishes, best wishes to all assembled here. Let us all come together again in pride and in happiness and celebrate the releases of so many of our people in being incarcerated now. I thank you once again and wish you all the best. And lasting Yom Tov of Shvius to everybody, and let us all of Yetz Hashem have the merit of going forward to the days when we are redeemed eternally from Yetz Hashem.
Thank you, Rabbi Stein. I've been asked by probably the Jewish community's greatest marketing genius, Rabbi Menachem Lubitsky, to introduce a video, but the video has no name. So perhaps Dror will begin a marketing contest for a naming of the video that everybody can participate, and the person who wins will get the most dessert. So, ladies and gentlemen, the video.